Hey guys, still here. Tonight I want to make a video talking about some alternative stones that you can buy for your Sharpmaker. The Sharpmaker, as it comes from the factory, is excellent at maintaining your edge and bringing back an edge that's not too damaged. But if you want to reprofile your knife, or if you got some real heavy damage to it for whatever reason, maybe you accidentally dropped it, a reprofile really isn't like feasible. You know, it's not something you're really going to want to attempt with the Sharpmaker because the brown stones that come with it don't cut very well. I mean, they do their job on your standard sharpening, but to really reprofile out anything real bad, they just don't cut quick enough unless you're extremely patient and don't mind really taking a while to do it. So the alternative that you can get for the Sharpmaker is a set of stones. They actually aren't sets. You can buy them in whatever quantity you want to. Congress Tools makes stones. They're called ruby stones. They have different kinds of ruby stones, but the ones in particular that they sell that work are the 1/2 inch by 6 inch ruby stones. And if you go to their website, I'll annotate it into the video below, you'll be able to find it. They have, their lowest grit is an 80, which I personally think that would be really super low to use unless you really have some serious damage. The ones you see next to the brown stones for the Sharpmaker are their 320 grit, and those cut really fast. And the thing I like about them is that I can go right from those to the brown stones, and it really doesn't take very long to clean up the edge from 320 grit to the brown stones. Brown stones do a really good job going from that transition, and I think anything in between isn't really necessary, and I don't really think anything lower is. You can see right now the stones are pretty dirty. I've been using them, been experimenting with a couple different things. I've come to really like reprofiling my edges to 30 degrees inclusive and then putting a 40-degree micro bevel on it. These stones have really been getting a good workout recently doing that. And most recent blade I've done it on was a small Kershaw junkyard dog. I took the factory edge to 30 degrees inclusive, and it only took me like 15 minutes to do both sides to where the edge was apexed, and I had a burr, and then I just switched over to the brown stones and did the process like you normally would on your knife if you were just touching it up. You know, you get it to where you have the edge finished out on the brown stones and you're ready to go to the white stones and then finish that how you will. I do that all the way out to then I strop the edge. So they work really well. A few tips I'm going to give are, when I first got them I was using them dry, and I do not advise using the stones dry. They create a lot of dust, and in turn my edges weren't really getting any better. In fact, if anything, they seemed to be getting tore up worse because that dust I think was clinging to my edges and just tearing them up, and it was a mess. The edge also tended to want to dig into the stone versus glide across it, so I just use water. I'm sure whatever else you would normally use for your water stones or wet stones that you use, you can. They work really well. Like I said, they cut well, and I don't think anything lower than the 320 is necessary, but that's just personal preference, and it's kind of up, you know, it's obviously up to you. So also, I don't use the edge of the triangle. These, I'm almost 100% certain, are not as hard as the ceramic, so the edges of the stone just will break and chip versus actually holding up and working your edge. The flats are what I use. That's all I use. And I actually have those are pretty much all the tips. I'll just show you what they look like real quick. They are 6 inches, like I said. So you can see they're about 2 inches shorter than your standard Sharpmaker stone. and they fit in just fine. So as you can see, they fit into the base just fine, and they work fantastic. I think that's all I have on them. If you guys have any other questions or comments or anything, feel free to ask. And like I said, I'll annotate Congress tools. I'll even annotate the webpage right into where you can order off of. So thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully that's helpful. And thanks for watching.